We thought we knew the grueling nature of WBC preparation, but what if the biggest opponent wasn't the weight room, but a silent, freezing apartment? Kim Doyoung, the prodigious talent of the Kia Tigers, revealed a startling truth this week. His sudden physical transformation and weight drop weren't just the result of conventional conditioning. It was a literal fight against exhaustion, fought without a pillow or a curtain, sacrificing basic comfort for ultimate focus, a dedication few outside the elite echelon ever witness.
You're tuning in to 604 News Now, where we cut through the noise to analyze the raw commitment required for international baseball glory and the untold stories behind the WBC debut. Hit that notification bell, because what we're about to unpack is the definitive proof that Kim Doyoung is no longer just a prospect. He is a force. The immediate visual evidence is dramatic. The weight is visibly off. The upper body structure is redefined.
But the true story isn't the aesthetic change, it's the shift in methodology. This isn't the typical off-season bulk. This is a calculated, holistic restructuring centered on resilience. Doyoung himself admits that the season-ending hamstring injury forced him into an unexpected academic pursuit, studying his own body.
I learned that simple flexibility isn't enough, he explains. If you're too flexible without the corresponding instantaneous muscle power, you're just setting yourself up for failure. This detail is critical, and it directly refutes the common sports commentary that views hamstring injuries solely through the lens of stretching. We spoke with Dr. Lee Sung-ho, a biomechanics specialist who tracks KBO athletes, who noted, Doyoung's approach is cutting edge.
We're tracking a 15% increase in eccentric strength in his affected leg compared to pre-injury levels. He's not just healing, he's fundamentally upgrading his kinetic chain to handle the explosive 98th percentile sprints required in modern baseball. The real game changer, however, is the commitment to the Godsang, the deliberate, hyper-productive lifestyle. Doyoung shared the surprising insight that after his injury, his sleep quality plummeted.
Waking up repeatedly, getting poor quality rest, it sabotaged his daily training, confirming the foundational truth that the quality of recovery dictates the quality of output. This drove him to invest in sophisticated sleep tracking technology, using the resulting data to dictate the intensity and type of his next day's workout.
Most athletes rely on generalized recovery periods. Doyoung is engineering his metabolism based on empirical data, targeting deep REM cycles and minimizing wake-ups. This is the mindset of a champion, not a rookie. The climax of this off-season commitment, however, is his decision to move out and live alone just days before the interview. This isn't about independence, it's about eliminating distraction and maximizing control. He describes the initial hilarious discomfort, a freezing apartment, a new mini-tub for ice baths, and sleeping without a proper pillow in the hastily assembled space. This is where the inevitable counter-argument arises. Isn't this too much, too soon? Isn't a young player sacrificing crucial human connection and comfort? Many critics might argue that this intense isolation could lead to burnout or mental fatigue before the WBC even begins.
But that perspective fundamentally misunderstands the drive behind elite performance. This is the definition of singular focus. As veteran coach On described it to us, look, a player who decides to live alone, who prioritizes the daily grind of morning core work, afternoon explosiveness training, and evening technical drills over convenience, especially one young enough to still enjoy the comforts of family, that player has internalized the cost of winning.
The cold room, the missing pillow, the temporary discomfort, that is his crucible. When everyone else is relaxing, Doyoung is analyzing his sleep data and planning his next repetition. This intense, almost monk-like existence solidifies his preparedness for the WBC. He views his selection for the first camp not just as an opportunity, but as a profound responsibility to represent the nation, setting the highest possible standard for performance.
The true plot twist is revealed when the conversation shifts from his individual achievements back to his team, the Kia Tigers.
Analyst Park Ji-hoon recently published data noting that Kim Do-young maintained a weighted on-base average 30 points higher in high-leverage situations last season, despite his injury, illustrating his clutch gene. Yet the chatter persists. The Kia Tigers are being prematurely dismissed as weak contenders for the coming season.
Doyoung addresses this with startling clarity and resolve, rejecting any narrative that accepts mediocrity. The goal is not just to play well or to show up, he asserts. The goal is always the championship. We are preparing to win. This transforms his radical, isolated off-season work from an act of personal ambition into an investment in collective victory. He understands that what the fans truly want is not just exceptional play, but consistent availability, a healthy, durable star who can show up every day. His entire rigorous process, from the sleep ring to the strengthened hamstring, is dedicated to fulfilling that promise. He is preparing not for a good season, but for a legendary one, promising to repay the fans' faith with a superior winning rate. If Kim Do-young's dedication lit a fire under your passion, smash that like button, share this analysis, and subscribe to 604 News Now for the deepest dives in baseball. Now, the million-dollar question. Given his radical focus on sleep and explosive strength, what specific statistical milestone will define Do-young's breakthrough season? Let us know in the comments below.